What's up? What's up? We're gonna get into some really deep stuff today. If you hear some noise in the background, that's just my dog. She's probably gonna start crying or whatever. But anyway, please ignore that. But yeah, as you can see, the title of this video is "What Would Jesus Do?" Now, this is gonna be a very powerful video, but it's something that I have to get on my chest to empower those of you out there who may want the empowerment, the wisdom, and the understanding. To really get whatever you want in life. Not only to get whatever you want in life, but to become rich from the inside out. Because I truly believe that just having riches by itself is nothing, right? It's about being rich within first. And from those riches that you gain within, you'll be able to command and do whatever it is that you want in your life. So I think that's very important. But I got a friend of mine, right? And she's been having some issues with her mom. And you know, there's some real deep-rooted issues from, I guess, when she was younger. Some things happened between her and her mom. And up to this day, there's just a lot of animosity, resentment between her mom up to this day, where she feels a certain type of way as far as, you know, how her mom handled a certain situation when she was younger. So she called me up and, you know, she told me that she was having a wedding and she was about to get married. She was giving me all the details about the wedding. And she told me she didn't want to invite her mother to the wedding. And she was like, you know, what should she do? You know what I'm saying? And I told her straight up, I said, look, I think you should take the Jesus approach, right? The Jesus approach. That's what I said to her. And she was like, what are you talking about, John? What do you mean by the Jesus approach? I was like, well, I think you should invite her anyway, despite the fact that you don't want to invite her, despite the fact that you feel like whenever she's around you, she just drains your energy and she either says something to get you upset or does something to get you upset. I feel you still should invite your mother. And the reason why is because I said if you don't invite her, number one, everybody else in the family is gonna be asking you, where's your mother, right? Like that's gonna be the most obvious thing they're gonna ask, because it's not like your mom is too far away or she's not alive or something like that. She's here. And it's kind of weird to, you know, have a wedding as her daughter and you not invite her. So I was like, you should invite her, because then the rest of the family is gonna continue to look at you as if you did something wrong. And she was like, you know what, John? She's like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. That's true. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you should just invite her. Take the Jesus approach, you know, embrace her, show her love. And at least you invited her to the wedding. You didn't exclude her out purposely. And I was like, what that's gonna do is, if she's the one who's in the wrong, if your mom is the one who's in the wrong, the truth will come to pass, right? You know, as they like to say, the truth will come to light, and everybody else in the family, all your friends and everybody else will start to see that it was never you that was the problem. They'll start to see that it was your mom that was the problem. And you know, that doesn't mean you treat her any different, but I'm just saying you don't want to not invite her, because now you look like the bad guy. And she was like, you know what? That is so true. You know what? I gotta invite her. I was like, I think you should, and show her love and everything, because the Jesus approach is basically showing love even to people who don't like you, right? That's what I call the Jesus approach. It's showing love even to your haters, right? Because love and hate is kind of synonymous, right? It's kind of like one and the same in a sense, because you know, hate is just, you know, kind of, usually you have to love somebody first in order to start hating them, right? That's usually how it goes. So in that situation, that's exactly what it is. She, deep inside, I know she loves her mother. I know that for a fact, but she feels her mom has done her so wrong in certain situations that there's just a lot of resentment, and they try to converse, they try to, you know, debate, they talk about it, but there's never a resolution that they can never come to. So I told her, I said, look, take the Jesus approach, invite your mother. And she was like, you know what? That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna invite my mom, and you know, whatever happens, happens, but at least I invited her and I can't look like the bad guy. I said, good. Because once you do that, you gotta understand one thing about life: the enemy will always try to destroy you or try to distract you and take you off course. But what would happen if you take away that power from the enemy? Once you take away the power from the enemy, now it's like they're non-existent, right? Even people in the past who may have done me wrong, or, you know, who have, you know, crossed me or whatever, I have this mindset now where it's like, yo, look, I'm gonna show you love regardless. You're forgiven, right? I don't hold it in my heart because it takes too much energy to hold that resentment against somebody who's done you wrong. It takes too much energy to hold that animosity and hold that grudge against somebody, as opposed to just, you know, hashing it out, taking the Jesus approach and showing them love, right? As if it never ever happened. And I know that is so hard for most people to do. That is one of the hardest things for somebody to do, is show the opposite of what they may be feeling. And I don't feel it's being fake. It's not necessarily being fake, especially if they're a family member or a loved one or someone who you really have had a lot of love for. I don't think it's being fake to show them love and embrace them, because you're just leaving them powerless. It's not really being fake, right? So that's why I told her and I encouraged her, take the Jesus approach, because what would Jesus do in that situation, right? And when you look at, you know, Jesus's story, you know, for those of you who've read the Bible and stuff like that, you know that the reason why they wanted to kill Jesus is because Jesus loved everybody, you know? Jesus had compassion for everybody. Jesus loved the sinners. Jesus loved the prostitutes. Jesus loved the bad people. You know, Jesus had compassion and love for everybody, and it was going against a lot of the restrictions of the other people, right? Jesus's approach to life and just the way he treated people was going against the beliefs of so many other people that they wanted to kill him. But not only that, another thing was that he was claiming to be God's son. He was saying he's the Messiah, and people saw that to be blasphemous. Like, who do you think you are? And from that love he was sharing with so many people, he was never judgmental. He never judged anybody. You know, he never had this, you know, he never really condemned. And so many people around him felt bad. They didn't like that, right? They felt like, who the hell do you think you are, right? But the truth is, Jesus was just like, look, I'm God's son, bitch. Like, that's who I am. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what your perception of me is. Here's who I am, and this is what my mission is, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do with or without, or who believes in it or not, right? That was how Jesus was. He didn't care. And because of this, because of him claiming to be the Messiah and saying he's God's son, they wanted to kill him, and you know, they did kill him, or whatever the case may be, for that reason. So, you know, when you talk about taking the Jesus approach in life, it's really having compassion and love for other people, and not judging, you know, and not you know, and criticizing and hating and all that stuff, because so many people, you know, we got enough of that. But the truth is, all that does is it holds us back from our glory, and it holds us back from our greatness. You can't really show any hate to anybody out there if you're really and truly a supporter of Jesus and say you love God. You're really not supposed to hate on or judge anybody out there. I know it's natural for people to do. People do it all the time, but you gotta love everybody, right? Even yourself and even me. If you truly love Jesus, right? That's just what it is. Even yourself and even me, you gotta love, regardless of what you think. That's just what Jesus would do in a situation. So, you know, it's just important to just think about that. When it comes to people doing things that you may not understand. There's a lot of people who are on missions that you may be against, or you think that their mission is a bad mission, or you think that they're crazy, or you think that there's something wrong with them. But you don't know why God gave them the vision that God gave them. You don't know why God put them on the path that they're on, even if it's something that you may not agree with, even if it's something that you don't think is gives them a lot of results, even if you're judging them based on monetary things, or you're judging them based on how they look, right? You're criticizing them based on how they act, for example. Really and truly, you never really know why or the method to their madness. So you shouldn't really judge anybody in this world. And even for me, over the years, you know, I've gotten better with this, because, you know, there's been people out there who've done things or said things where I really want to fuck this person up, right? Or I want to curse this person out, like literally want to curse the person out. But, you know, as for the past like 2 years, I've taken a totally different approach to it, where I'm like, you know, it's whatever. People are going to be people. They have their reasons for why they're doing what they're doing, even if they don't know why they're doing it yet, or even if they don't know why they're doing it at all. But at the same time, I can still show love to that person. I can still look past just what they have or what they've accomplished and just accept that person for them. That's the only way you can get to that point in your life, right? Because if you're walking around and just judging everybody based on exterior, it's like almost being soulless, right? You don't really understand. You don't have no connection with people, right? And when you take the Jesus approach, Jesus understood people. He loved people, and people loved him for that. And at the same time, you know, that's why life is so funny, because the same things that people will love you for and praise you for and worship you for, there can be a whole other group of people hating you for those same exact reasons. So that's why I think life is so funny, right? But what you got to do is you got to focus on the love. Leave the hate powerless. Leave the jealous powerless. Leave the judgers powerless. Leave all them powerless and just focus on the love. Focus on the light, right? And you'll get more of that, right? And Jesus knew that. And this is why they didn't like him. They did not like him at all. So here's what I want you to do, though. Look below this post. What you're going to see is a blog post by me going more in depth into this stuff. But also at the bottom of this blog post, what you're going to see is you're going to see a link of a product, right? It's probably launched yet. I don't know if it's here, if it's available yet. It might not be available yet, or it might be available now, but I'm launching a product called the Project Unleash, also known as the Vault, right? And basically what this product is a spiritual awakening product where I'm basically going to be interpreting and dissecting certain parts and certain scriptures of the Bible, just giving my take on it. But it's all intended to empower you. It's all intended to help you to reach your greatness and get you to reach such a high level of inner abundance and inner richness that nothing can take you off course and nothing can stop you from accomplishing your goals. That's the whole purpose of the product. Now, another thing, the product is going to be $47 a month, right? A monthly product is going to be $47 a month. Because every single week I'm going to upload new content to the product. And you're going to be able to listen to the product while you're driving to work, when you're at home at the house just hanging out by yourself. You know, just pop in some headphones. You're going to be able to listen to the audios and also watch the empowering videos where I'm helping you become spiritually awakened. And more than 10% of that $47 that you pay monthly is going to go to feed the children or whatever other type of charity that I decide on to help other people. So it's going to be $47 a month. A 10% would be only about $5, right? 10% of 47 is about $5. But $7 out of the $47 every single month is going to go to feed the children or whatever other. So let's say I have 10 people who have that product, right? Out of every time those 10 people pay that month, $7 out of that $47 payment is going straight to charity, right? So that's going to bless you as well, because a partial amount of you paying for that product is going to go to feed the children and charities to help other people out there in the world. So I just want to explain that to you. I don't know if the product is available just yet, but that is definitely coming soon. Second thing, what you're going to see at the very bottom of the blog post is you're going to see a link where you're going to be able to join me in the Motor Club of America business. You're going to be able to get your benefits by becoming a member, and you're going to have the ability to earn $80 per sale that you make in the Motor Club of America business. Your training comes 100% free as long as you join me in the Motor Club of America. You don't have to pay for the training at all. Now, for those of you who are already in Motor Club of America, or if you're already in Herbalife and you really want to step your game up, get the education you need to get 30 plus leads a day and 2+ sales every single day in your business, those links are also in the bottom of this blog post. You'll be able to get access to those training systems where I give you all the nitty-gritty tools, strategies, the marketing secrets, all that stuff to help your business grow exponentially, right? I want to help you to grow not only your business, but also grow yourself to a higher level of vibration, thinking, so that you can attract abundance, right? Because in order to attract abundance, you have to be thinking on that level and that frequency. So those links are going to be at the bottom of this blog post. But the next time you think you want to get riled up, or you want to show animosity, or maybe you want to show, you dislike a certain person, or you want to lash out at somebody, stop and think for a second, right? And this may be very hard to do. I'm warning you, this is going to be very hard to do, but I'm telling you to stop and think for a second and ask yourself, what would Jesus do, right? And I'm not saying you're Jesus or anything like that, right? I'm not saying that, but you're definitely a child of God, right? You're definitely a child of God. But I want you to ask yourself, what would Jesus do? I'm going to see you guys at the top. John Belcher, peace.